Ethical Preparedness 50 caliber freedom seed.
Today you are going to get a secret insider's look at a closed to the public Facebook page of police officers, and you will see where these police officers are discussing gun control laws and if they would take part of gun confiscation or not. So stay tuned. So folks, today you are going to see private messages between police officers on a closed Facebook page where these officers are discussing gun control, gun confiscations, and the Second Amendment. So anyways, as you all know, I am a 20-year police veteran, plus I'm also an oath keeper. But it's also no secret that a lot of people in the prepping community are also very distrustful of the government and also police officers. So with me having this YouTube channel over the past several years, I have gotten so many comments of people attacking me because I am a police officer, calling me stuff like pig and bootlicker and things like that. And so it's actually gotten so bad I've actually had to target words such as pig and bootlicker and stuff like that, so that when people comment calling me a pig or a bootlicker or whatever, that their comment actually gets trashed. So with knowing that so many people in the prepping community are very worried, very distrustful of the government and very distrustful of police officers, and really having a huge fear that after SHTF that cops will come and confiscate everybody's guns, I really thought that you folks would like to get this insider's look at messages comments between police officers on the subject of gun confiscation and the Second Amendment. And again, I want you to remember, this is a closed Facebook page. This is not cops commenting to try to look good for the public. These are comments between police officers to police officers. This is what they believe to be private messages. So the way that I belong to this closed Facebook page is because since I am law enforcement in my state, I'm able to belong to it. Now, because I am showing these postings for YouTube for the whole world to see, I am going to redact out the name of the Facebook page because it does state my state on there. And I'm also going to redact out the icons and the names of the members that actually did the postings for their privacy. So anyways, an officer posted a link to a news article where Biden was talking about making stricter gun control laws, and that officer posted, hey, so how many, hey, I don't make the laws, I just follow them type of police officers are out there? Don't be shy. And by the way, when you see the LEO in his comment, LEO stands for law enforcement officer. But what he's asking the other officers in the group is, how many officers are the type to say, I don't make the law, so even if I don't agree with the law, I will still enforce it. Now, I personally know this cop, and I know that he is very pro Second Amendment, and he's actually another prepper. So I know for certain that he's not trying to find other officers to go along with gun confiscations. So if that's what you're thinking, get that nonsense out of your head. So now what really made me proud was all the responses that he got to his post. And so let's take a quick look at those posts, again, from police officers thinking that these posts are not for the general public to see, from police officer to police officer. So let's take a look at the first screenshot here. This cop posted, Patriot law enforcement officer here. And then this one put, like heck, I'm going to enforce unconstitutional gun laws. And I just don't remember what the rest of his comments said. And then you can see here, pretty much all of these guys are huge supporters of Trump and just don't care for Biden too much. And then on this next screenshot, you can see that this cop just only said unconstitutional. And then you can see this cop said, yeah, no, I'm not taking any weapons from taxpayers. And then the next cop posted, I vowed to uphold the Constitution. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Be true to your oath. And then this cop posted, speaking about President Biden, this guy is out of his effing mind. And then this next screenshot shows a cop saying he swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States, not the signature of the guy who thinks he overrules it. And then I really like this one. This cop said, I'm just going to say it now. If you're one that will enforce it and you work in my county, I'll make you think twice again before forgetting the oath you took. I'm not going to stand by and watch it happen, nor will I justify doing it. And then we have this cop, I will honor the oath if it's the last thing that I do. And then this one, my guys at my department absolutely will not enforce this. We believe in the Constitution and will uphold it. We need to focus on real police work, not taking guns away from law-abiding citizens. And then in this next screenshot, we see where another cop posted, I will not enforce unconstitutional, malicious, treasonous violation of the original Bill of Rights, and especially the second. And then the next cop writes, nope, not I, in reference if he would be one of those, I don't make the laws, I just enforce them type of police. And then this comment here of, I'll say it, I'm an oath keeper and I won't follow orders that would violate the US Constitution, any part of it. And then the last post here of, I'd sure hope people, meaning cops here, will remember the oath they took. Now, what I really want to point out is that I did not cherry pick the comments to show you. Every comment that I saw posted on there was from cops saying how they would uphold the Constitution of the United States. And I did not see any officers post that they would enforce any gun laws if Biden passed them. Now, of course, since I've said that, there's going to be people that's going to post, but how about Hurricane Katrina? After Hurricane Katrina, the cops in the military were going around and confiscating guns. And yes, there were some gun confiscations that did occur after Hurricane Katrina, but from my research on it, while it did happen, it was not as widespread as a lot of people want you to believe. We have to remember that the command to confiscate guns after Hurricane Katrina came down from the liberal politicians there in New Orleans. And when I researched this, there was a gentleman by the name of Brandon LaBeouf, I believe is his name, and he was actually there in New Orleans after Katrina hit. He was a firearms enthusiast, plus he was a reserve police officer, plus an active duty Marine. So he was there helping with the cleanup after Katrina. And he said, yes, there were gun confiscations, not nearly as much as what was reported as happening. And he said with the gun confiscations that did happen, most of it was done by out-of-state police and military. And he said that what he actually saw was law enforcement and military actually dealing with a lot of people that had firearms on them, and these guns were never confiscated. So now, while I wanted to do this video to share with you folks the average police officer's view on gun confiscations and gun laws, I also still want to remind you that these are police officers from my state, and I live in a very conservative state where we don't like gun control and gun laws to begin with. So how this would be in a liberal area where you have liberal cops, I don't know. Again, what I always want to try to remind everybody of is that the United States is a huge country and we vary from region to region. And police officers will vary from region to region. That's why it irritates me so much when some folks, not you good ones, but some folks that paint all police officers as evil tyrants with a broad brushstroke. When some people say, you know, hey, if you're a police officer, you're one of the government's mercenaries and you'll confiscate guns after SHTF or whatever. So I just like to remind people that, again, the United States is a huge country and it varies from area to area. If you have a liberal area, you have kids that are raised by liberal parents and liberal school teachers, and those kids grow up to be liberal plumbers, liberal electricians, and also liberal police officers. But when you have a conservative area where the kids are raised up by conservative parents and conservative school teachers, then those kids grow up to be conservative plumbers and conservative electricians and conservative police officers. So if the command to confiscate guns were ever to come down, I would not want to be in a place like New York City or Chicago or Los Angeles, in liberal places, because you would have too much of a chance of liberal cops in those areas that would be willing to do those kind of things. But we have to remember, the average police officer does not work for the NYPD or the LAPD or Chicago PD. Most cops work and live in small to medium towns and cities across this country that have a tendency to be conservative. Again, I like to bring out this electoral map that shows how much of this country is red, how much of this country leans conservative compared to how much of this country leans liberal. It's in these red areas where the cops aren't going to be so eager to do gun confiscations or enforce all these, gun laws that Biden hopes to pass. But it's in those blue areas where you would have to worry more about that happening. So now that you have seen these communications between police officers that were not meant for the general public's eyes, comment down below, was this an eye-opener for you, or did you already kind of suspect that a lot of cops were actually pro-Second Amendment? And to learn why preppers that live in apartments will die of starvation after SHTF if they try to grow their own food, then click on the video that should be appearing on the screen just about now to learn that powerful knowledge. Anyways, that is enough internet for today. It is time to go train. And folks, if you made it this far, hey, thank you very much for watching, and I pray that you have a good night.